from here. Just going to use the slider to zoom a little bit so you can see much better. So all we've done is we have some content. I normally prefer, I don't like it when the text is ending like in this opposite way or zigzag way or something like that. So I just select the document. And of course, to select in this particular case, I just click at the end, drag all the way to the top. And I want to change the alignment. So we've done with left, right, left, center, right, but there's also justify, which I really like because it's clean. You see, it's just got the same sort of width for each line of text that we are using. Really like that. So you can use the justify as well if you want. Now, want to do a little bit in terms of things around further editing. So I'm going to click, what's the name? So we've worked with saving files and other things. Let's use something which I used whilst I was trying to answer a question. Remember before when I said you can change the margin and all those kind of things using layout. So what if you don't know what you're looking for? What if you don't know how to find it, or you're running out of time, or you really want really quick shortcut to things? On your version, it may be search, but it used to be called the tell me. So you see this little thing with the sort of the idea thing or the light bulb thing. So mine is tell me, yours may be search. So tell me gives you a shortcut to most of the commands or the tools that you need to work with. So let's say search for margin, for example. So if I don't know where to find the margins, straight away it takes me to it. I can change the margins if I want. I'm not going to click any of this. I don't know, bullet points. Then it gives me quick access. It's like really quick access to all of these tools that you need. And that's the tell me function, right? So if yours is search, click it, type something that mostly you think in terms of you need, in terms of feature editing, and see what happens. And of course, once you're done, just put that in the chat window and we'll continue. Okay. So if you want to insert something like a chart, I'll just go to tell me charts. You can find a chart to include, or something like a smart art. If let's say you need to include something like a hierarchy, like where you draw some graph. So we can actually include a hierarchy. I don't know, I just don't want this, so I'll just undo, Control Z. Click somewhere, Control Z is gone, or just include chart. Charts, maybe there's map, just click something random, include map on there. Hopefully we generate something to make our graph look cool. Yep, generate some map for us. We're not going to input any data or anything, right? Basically, you need some data to create something proper. Yeah. So anyway, we're not going to do something fancy with it. I'll just accept this and let's create whatever I want. So I can select the map, and then also I can center it or left align it. You can add captions if you want. Well, since this is a word thing, let me just right click and then I will say insert caption and say, not allowing me to type full map. Should allow me to type, but it is a figure, whatever. I just insert label, figure, and let's put a label on there. So figure 1, I just type full map for world map showing some, I don't know, some data. I'm not going to read what's there because it's auto generated for us anyway. But what you notice is that once we inserted a caption, it automatically generated a figure number for us. And of course, if we include a different one, that will also come with a different figure number as well. So of course, it's always good to cross-reference. I'll put in bracket and I'll just go to insert, and then I will find cross-reference. So yep, cross-reference there. And I want to, I've only inserted a figure. So I'll just, so if I set reference to the paragraph numbered item, the item that we are inserting is figure. So we just don't want the entire caption, just only the label and the number. So if I insert it, it becomes figure 1 inserted there for me. Of course, I could select figure 2, figure 3. The good thing about doing this is that if later I delete a figure 1, I don't need to go back to change every single figure. So if I have 19 figures in my Word document, for example, and I delete figure 1, it will just update for me. So I don't need to go and change figure 2 to figure 1, figure 3 to 2, all the way to the 19th figure. And I don't have to go through every single part of the document to change this figure 1 as well. And of course, if you click it, it just keeps a hyperlink for you. So it makes life easy for you. So far, we've gone up to this point. I'll just pause a little bit to see how you're doing. Resuming recording, and we'll continue in a second. All right, let me get rid of that. So more or less, we've inserted some text, but at the same time, let's say right from here, of course, we understand the I-beam. I don't have the I-beam enabled for some reason. I'll look at later on how to enable it and also make it work for you. So if I simply put it there and I type, this has been an interesting class, type content that you want. We use Microsoft Word all the time, but it looks like there are more features than we thought. Okay, so I've got some tests entered on there. We know about test alignment and other things, and we want to see. So let's say in here, I want to insert something in between the class and then the we. I just move my cursor there and then press there, and I can start typing. Fortunately, so fortunately, we have the license version, so we can use a lot of things, something like that. So that shows how to insert text. Maybe the so, of course, as I underline it for me, showing me that there is a typo there, so I can easily fix that typo. No, I don't want to change that, but it's because I put it is there, so I correct it that way. Time, comma, so it sort of highlights some things for me that I can edit. Let me close this so we have more space to work with. If let's say I want to select a particular word, you know, if I click once, it just simply take me to or take me to an insertion point or a point where I can start typing, but I can just double click and it selects a word for me, right? The same way, if I want to select a different word, I can just double click the word and it selects for me, double click, select, double click, select, double click, select, right? So remember, I've got my margin there, right? So I'll just simply do something, of course, as usual, pause a little bit and give you the chance for you to work on it and let me know it's working for you as well. Is it working for you?
Yeah.
Recording. And we know how to select a word now by simply double clicking. And of course, you can just click anywhere, either after or after the word or before it, drag and drop. So basically you just click, hold down, drag and drop. So I can do the same, click, hold down, drag and drop. click, hold down, drag and drop. Same for every other word. And of course, if I maybe, let's say there are more features, let's pick something that maybe we can say fortunately or unfortunately. And of course, we just inserted this, we don't really like it. We can just drag and drop, and then we press the space bar to delete. I want to bring it back, so I just press Command Z or Control Z to bring it back. Okay. And I want to select the two words. So again, drag and drop across. Maybe I just want to make this one italic, so I can click I, or undo that, click Command I or Control I to make it italic. Okay, maybe I want to make it bold. I'll just select, make it bold. Maybe I really even want to change the font color, so I can make it red, or I can just click the drop down arrow next to it. I can choose among these color schemes, or I can even choose some more specific colors, or even from an image, more or less. Drag and drop and then select, and then use an ink selection. But I'm just going to make it maybe blue, and on there, I don't want it to be bold anymore. So I'm just going to select it and press Control B or Command B. And of course, I want to put this into bracket. I tend to say, of course, a lot, but that's not what I meant in this case. Let's make the whole thing blue. One thing is that you notice your most recently used color is saved on there for you. So it gives you quick access to the most widely recently used color. And there's a lot more options in terms of what you can do with word art and other things, okay? If you want it highlighted, you can simply click the highlight. And once you click outside, it shows this way. I think blue on yellow doesn't really look really good. So let's go with white on yellow. So I'll drag and drop, change back. I think mine black is my white, by the way, because I've got the dark mode on. And that should do it. So we've got some content with some highlights, bit of font editing on there. We'll go a bit more into font editing. But at the same time, we want to look at different ways that we can select lines or select paragraphs. Can I double check? Are you okay up to this point? Should I continue? Or wait? Do you want me to wait for you? So we know so far, double click to select a line, a word. So let's say we want to select the whole line. I can use the same drag and drop where I go all the way to the end, all the way to the first line, or I can just simply click in the margin next to the sentence I want to select. So go to the margin next to the sentence, click that, and it selects the whole line. The same, click, selects the whole line, click, select the whole line, and you can do a lot of editing and all those kind of things. So let's say we want to change the first line because it's sort of the heading. We want to do some things with it. I can just press Command U to underline it. To underline it. And then also, of course, if you want to see, there is an option for underline on there in the editing group, or I can just remove that, right click the text that I've selected, click font, give it some time to pop up. And also I can do a lot of things with it here. In here, I can change the font size, I can change the style, I can change the size, I can change the font itself. We can just simply do some conversions. So let's say if we've got all of them, it's sort of all over the place. So let's make it small caps, for example. So if I choose small caps, you see how it's changed to. I'll go back to the font again, popping up, and I can choose maybe all caps, or I can choose strike through. I don't want strike through in there. Small caps, okay, maybe all caps, I think a lot better. And I will work with what I have here now. I don't want to strike through again. You get a preview of what it looks like at the bottom. Of course, I don't want it hidden. Interestingly, you can put some hidden text. You can have subscript, double strike through, and other things. Let me get rid of that go to all caps. We don't want to change the font size from here. We can do that, but we don't want to change it from there. So now it's all caps. I'll make it underlined and I want to make it bigger, right? So I can just go up here and choose the font size. Maybe I can choose 28. You see, this one, you can't get a really good preview. Just simply click and then it happens. And of course, if we want to use keyboard shortcut, which is the one I really like, hold down Control, hold down Shift, and then you press the greater than symbol or the less than symbol to make it smaller. So greater than make it bigger, less than make it smaller, right? Mistakenly open something. Let me get rid of that. So Control Shift, if you're on Mac, is Command Shift. So greater than, make it bigger to the font size of your taste. Of course, you've got different styles to pick up from, but we don't want to touch that now. And maybe I can choose different color for this. I don't want to choose a different color. I don't know, orange. Then I can make it bold and it looks maybe a bit more interesting now. Give you a bit of time to catch up. Give me the recording. We were on selecting text. So what if we want to select the whole paragraph, right? So let's click here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, selects the whole paragraph for us, okay? So if I go into a paragraph from the text itself, 1, 2, 3, selects for me. So I click it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, selects for me. If I want to use the margin, which is a lot quicker, I just click 2 times. So double click in the margin, 1, 2, then it selects the whole paragraph for me. Let's try 3 times to see what happened. 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3 selects the whole document for us. That's similar to doing a Control A. Control A will select the whole document for you, but we just want only one paragraph. So let's go back to the last paragraph, for example, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 selects for us, and we know that the paragraph is selected for us. Right. So let's say I really I like this line. I didn't put any good content, but let's say we want to move this line. So I just simply click outside to select it. So I want to move it forward. I can just drag and drop the line where I want it to be. So you notice there's a new arrangement in here. If I want to undo this drag and drop, I just click Control Z and it comes back to the original. If I want to drag and drop a text, I can just simply drag the text after I select it and put it somewhere else, right? So you get to see exactly where it's going. Or there are, of course, other alternative methods that we will talk about in a second as well, right? So if also, let's say, if I want this paragraph to go down, so again, to select a paragraph, double click in the margin, I can just move it around. So I can move a whole paragraph around. If I make a mistake I don't like, Control Z, it goes back to the area that I want it to be. Remember, the keyboard shortcut to enlarge text is Command Shift or Control Shift, less than or greater than symbol, right? So we've got moving text around. We just really want to try things around copying, pasting, which we tend to do quite a lot, right? So copying and pasting content. So let's say we want to move things, maybe move this paragraph to the bottom. So select the paragraph. I go to cut. So the cut option is there. So we're moving it. We cut it all together, which is under the editing part. You see the scissors icon. And I can go to the bottom and I'll just paste it. So to paste, I go to paste, I have the options of keep the source formatting, match source formatting. This is from the same document, but at least we see the different options that we have, which is keep source formatting, match source formatting, paste as picture or keep text only. In this particular case, it doesn't matter because it's the same font, same document. We can simply click paste, or I will undo and then I'll click Control V. So let me undo this, and instead of using the icons on here, I just want to use the keyboard shortcuts. So can somebody tell me what is the keyboard shortcut for cut? So we got, I think it's Control X. So we're going to go with that. If you're using Mac, it is Command. So let me get that, and Control X. And what will be the keyboard shortcuts for paste?
Control V.
Then Control V. So let's say I really wanted just a copy of this part of the document. I don't want to move it. I can either click the command icon, the icon there, the copy icon there, or use the keyboard shortcut. So what is the keyboard shortcut?
For cutting.
For copying.
Okay, Control C.
Control C.
So again, we go through our Control C and then Control V, and we've got a content on there. And remember, you've got options if you are copying from different sources on there. Please, if there's a question, just ask. If it is something else, can you switch off your microphone? So we have copying from a website. I'm just going to open a random website and maybe type something interesting article. Right. So I've just simply searched for motivational speech. I don't know, something. I should have just copied that, right? So I've just simply went online, searched for motivational speech, and maybe like we really like all of this. We can just select them, which is just drag and drop. Right click, copy, and then we come back to the document, and then maybe we paste it. So Control V or Command V. So we notice if you see the font size, you notice the big difference on there. So content coming from the web is definitely different from what we have on here as well. So I'm just going to do Control Z. I still Control X. I still sorry, Control Z. I still have it copied though. I can go to the paste. I can either keep the source formatting, or maybe I can keep the text only. If I keep the text only, you notice the images are gone. So the images that we copied from the website are gone. Or we can just simply keep the source formatting, which is what we had earlier. Or I can just say match formatting. Then if I match formatting, you notice the font is almost the same as what we had there. Of course, I'm not encouraging you to copy and paste. If you copy something from somewhere, please reference the source, or even make sure that you don't plagiarize. But I'm just going to do some quick editing, select images, make them center, just to fit into the scheme that we've been working with. So make the images center. Oh, sorry, that's a link. That's why it's opening stuff for me on the side. And also get some more, and I'll go back and make these justified as well, because that's the test we've been using. Justified. I got rid of that. It was there before. We get the idea. And that's center. So it's a lot cleaner now. So let's say we've got different ways that we can paste. We have the paste options. let's say I really, really like this heading. So let's say motivational speech. Copied from a web source. Right. So let's say I really like this heading and I want to copy the format that I have made on there in terms, because we've done some editing to it. Right. So I just select it and I click this format painter. It's the paintbrush icon on there. Then I go back down and then I'll hover or I'll select the new format, the new text that I want in that format, and it automatically format for us. Looks like we skipped an M, so we do the same for the M as well. And of course, the way it's looking, it's better if we make it center, so we just make it center in this case. So we have, let me delete this image. It keeps bringing up a link that I don't like at the moment. Right, so we have some content, and also we've just used the format painter right now to change how things look. And of course, we can do the format painter to a lot of things as well. So anything that we format, so let's say we change, we highlight this particular text and we want to maybe change the font size as well. Let's make it bigger so we can see. So we change the font style. So we got different options to use. Let's go for something, I don't know, anything random. We clear something that is clear from the others so we can easily see the, yeah, I think that's a lot better. So if we like this and we want to copy it across, we can just copy the format and then we paste it. Why am I skipping the first letters these days? Then we paste the format over others as well. So hopefully you've managed to do it up to this point with me as well. So I'll pause a little bit, give you some time to copy things. I think it works a lot easier if you finish, just say continue, okay? Then we work it out, yeah? I've got something opened and down. Right. So basically we want to do some more formatting. So let's say we type what day it is today, maybe 3rd of, I don't know, let's make it December or February. Just put some random dates. 2nd. You notice that it automatically makes it superscript for us, right? But if let's say we've got 2 to the power 2, and we want to change that to superscript, we want to change 2 to the power 3. Let's make it 3 so it becomes obvious, right? Easiest way to do it, highlight it, right click, go to font, or easiest way I like to do it. Go to font and then you can select superscript. What if it's like maybe 2 to the base or 10 to the base 2 or 19 to the base 2 or 10 to the base 2? So we've got 102, select what you want to change, right click, font, then you can go to subscript. Of course, the other options or font editing options that you can use, if you go to font, then you can click advanced and you get more options that you can actually work with. If you're working with bullet points, of course, working your way down, or let's say, even if we pick a sentence, so let's go with any sentence at all. Let's go with this one. Let's make a change to it. If we select it, you see these options there, make it smaller, make it bigger. You see the capital and small thing there. So we can select sentence case. So the sentence case, let's go with it again. Sentence case, changed it. The first letter becomes the capital. Or you can say capital for each word, which is where we started from. So you've got a capital for each word. So let's say we really, really like this and we want the other heading to be the same. Format Painter, capital for each word that we play with as well. Again, if it looks like, slow down, I should save this. Again, if we're working with a list of items, I think the dates look like a list, so we can just put them as bullet points. So on here, we can choose these as bullet points. So let's make them bullet points. If you want to change the style of the bullet point, so let me make this big. Choose the drop down arrow. And of course, you've got more options that you can actually do with. So drop down arrow, go back down. And in there, you can change the bullet point, the style of the bullet point that you're using. Let's say if I have vegetables, fruits, books, movies. Let me make all of these same or uniform. So I can actually get rid of that. Let me make it list of items. Let's make, I notice we have different fonts on there. So let's change and make a uniform font. Something, I don't know. Let's use Times New Romans because it's easier, more common. See, somewhere here. Somebody can probably see it and I can see it. Yeah, there it is. So make it Times New Romans, and of course, we've got that. Make all of them not bold. Right. So maybe under vegetables, I don't know, maybe under movies, let's go for movies. Maybe we just choose, I don't know, Spider-Man or something, or superhero movies. Which one? I don't know. Yeah, the only one I can think of for some superhero movies or something. Titanic. How I did that was simply to press the tab. So I press enter, I can type maybe a vegetables, I don't know, something. On there, you can go on there, go to the first line and then first word letter and press tab. Or you can just press enter and then you press the tab key and it gives you the list that you can use. Not pepper, something else. Put your whole list. Fruits, let's go with mango. Yeah. Then books, I don't know, a story I like. So you can get like a drop-down list, I don't know, second fruits. Second vegetable. Don't like it. Oh. And of course, you can change the format if you want. Yeah, and I can make this superscript as well. Right, so we've created a list. If we want maybe this to be numbers instead of bullet points, or after we change the bullet points, we really just simply don't like the bullet point. We just simply click the numbers icon there and then it changes to numbers. And if we want, we can change the style of the numbers. So it changes from 1 dot to maybe something like that, or even have different options that we can choose of. If you want more, you can define the style. You can use Roman numerals. Let's go back to just basic numbers instead of something from the recently used. And we can go to these ones also, and maybe instead of ABC, we can use I, or something like that. But we did it for only a few of them. So let's see. I think this is probably a subscript. So let me change that font. If it pops up, yep, it is a subscript. So let me get rid of that. So it looks much better now. So we've got some numbers, ABCs. Maybe we can change the ABC if we want. Let's see. Use different style. Main numbers. Some more editing in terms of the hierarchy. We can choose different style. We've got I numbers and all those kind of things. Let's change to something, but we don't like that. So we just do undo. And in here, maybe under second vegetable, we want more tabs. We can have another tab, interesting vegetable 1. Then again, I'll do copy and paste, Control C, Control V in the vegetable 2. What if I add a new category where I wanted it to be on the higher level? So let's say I type, I don't know, hobbies. And I want hobbies to come to just underneath the 1. So I can just, first I press tab, it goes one more level below. But if I press backspace, it comes one more level up. So tab, then backspace, it comes one more level up. Dancing, I don't know, table tennis, something else. So I'll pause the recording here